Alright, this is a quick tutorial on basically cleaning up our link structure with our SSL. So just to be clear, we've installed the SSL certificate and we are technically referencing a secure URL, but our browsers are not giving us the little padlock. Some browsers will just have green text or a padlock. Basically letting us know in a glance that the website is secure. So what's happening here, though we have an SSL certificate installed, the content that is already present may be referencing non-secure URLs. In other words, a URL that is not an HTTPS URL. And it's a pretty simple fix once you actually have the SSL installed. It's in its shortest version, it's basically find and replace. And there's a handful of tools that we will use to help us with this. So in this case, we're not fully secure, and there's some issues. So the first tool that we'll talk about, I'm going to copy that URL and I'm going to open up another window. Why no padlock? This thing is like rock solid with helping you identify what is and what is not secure. So we'll basically type that in there, paste our URL in there, and we'll test the page. Right, and it looks like there's a few others in front of us. It takes only a few seconds even when there's a lot, right? So it kind of gives us this test result. Boom, boom, boom. We see all the things we passed at, and then we see all the things that are causing us to fail. Now, essentially, they have three types of failure: soft failure, hard failure, and mixed content failure. I don't pay attention to this. I pay attention to, okay, what link is causing me to fail? And the simplest way, a lot of times, by the way that I structure my images, the names of my images, I can kind of get an idea. I understand that this is a logo, but we have several different versions of logos. So what I'll do, I'll copy that link, paste it, and it tells me, oh, okay, this is the logo that is not secure. All right. And you can do that, go through with each and every one. Now, you don't need to do that, at least not at this point, right? So what we'll do, we'll get into the website, right? So notice we're not secure. Now, I'm already logged in, you see my bar here. But when I get to the back of the website, this is secure. You see how it's a padlock? This is telling me that all the content on the back side here is referencing secure, right? So we're going to go download a plugin that's going to help us with this, right? Alright, I'm going to add new. Alright, there's typically two plugins that I use. One is, I want to call it Velvet Blues. It's a rather odd name, but it's basically a find and replace that accesses your database. And then I've recently stumbled across another one through tech support from one of the developers. They suggested this, which is Better Search. I didn't get to finish, but Better Search Replace, right? This one here. So we're going to go ahead and install that. Activate it. All right, so now that is activated, let's scroll on back down through here. Let's see if I can span the screen a little bit so I can actually get to it. And where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tools. All right, Better Search and Replace. All right, so what are we searching for? Essentially anything with HTTP, right? In this case, we're referencing a staging URL, right? That is why this one is not referencing properly. In theory, any URL that was present should automatically be secure when the SSL certificate is installed. But the reason with this one is it's referencing the staging URL. So when we developed the site, we used this dummy URL. That way it wasn't, public facing. But somehow, whenever we switched it over, this is just something that didn't get transferred. So what we're going to do, we're just going to copy the URL, right, and jump back to our site. So we're going to search for, right, and we're going to keep this really simple. We want just the URL, nothing before it, nothing after, right? And then we want to replace it with our actual URL, right? So let's get rid of that. Be very careful what you paste in here. Make sure that there's nothing after, because it can break the site. So just the plain URL.com, replacing with the plain URL.com. So select tables. I always select all. Replace GUI guides. Don't know what that is. Don't mess with it. You're not supposed to mess with these, but I've always replaced them anyway. There is a much more technical reason for not messing with these, but it has never ever caused me issues, so I always replace those as well. The other thing is run as a dry run. This plugin, unlike the Velvet Blues or Blue Velvet plugin, this one allows you to do a dry run. So I always do a dry run first. We have WooCommerce and a lot of product data. All right. So this kind of gives you the results, right? So 510 cells were found that need to be updated. That is a lot of data, right? So that's why it was so slow. They didn't make any changes. So all we're going to do is click back down here, uncheck. We're not going to mess with anything. Uncheck, run as a dry run, and we'll run it again. Now, mind you, we're in a WordPress engine environment. We automatically have backups every day. I can't recommend WordPress engine enough to anybody that currently is not with them. It is a premium WordPress hosting. You're looking at about $35 a month, but trust me, you do not want to negotiate when it comes to the quality of your website, right? This isn't for the DIYers that are kind of going half-hearted at this. If you're tinkering and whatnot, this is for people that are planning on using their websites for business and need speed, that need security. It does come with free SSL certificate, and then their tech support is like bar none, top level, and they have chat or phone. So. Can't say enough good things about WP Engine. They are expensive, but you get what you pay for when it comes to hosting. I've been through GoDaddy, InMotion Hosting, DreamHost. I really do not like DreamHost. They are so hard to deal with. There's no direct interface, and GoDaddy and InMotion Hosting are better. They have, I call it like the Walmart of hosting plans. They have a lot of stuff for you, but you literally pay for what you get, and you're going to get a very minimal quality hosting company that will allow many different things to run, and that can cause issues. It causes security problems, or at least security risks. Whereas WP Engine is, preventative in that. All right, so that's done. We have 34 tables, 510 cells were changed. There's only a handful of updates that didn't happen. So out of 5110 searched or changed, 5106 were updated, right? Settings, or HTTPS. And so we see here the URL. One of them is and one of them is not, right? So let's go ahead and fix that. All right, save changes. All right, it logged me out because we changed that URL. So I'm just logging back in. Let's go back to the front. All right, and we will go ahead and empty cache. All right, let's give this another test. This is probably on the front end, so let's go check and see if these need to be edited manually. All right, so let's start by checking here. All right, so he's secure. All right, cancel. So let's go back down to this slides, right? Edit slide. Right? As a matter of fact, Westlife t-shirt, gets forward for the Holy. These are all t-shirts on the same line, so it's telling me more than likely it's all of these images. So what we'll do, because we're using this builder, fortunately I don't have access to the code without disabling the builder. So, what I'm doing here, guys, I don't remember which shirt that was, so I'm going to just pull up a fresh copy so I can see. So it was the Phil 13, she's worth it. All right. Now, as I select these new, they're going to pull in the secure URL, right? All right, save. So let's go to the next one. Whoops, I just zoomed in. All right, she's worth it. Let's remove it and let's add it. She's worth it. She's worth more. Save. All right, let's do this one. Give slowly for the Holy. Gotta love it. Blessed life. All right, and the last but not least. Done. Publish. Alright, so let's do a empty cache. Refresh. Alright, so I can see I'm still not secure. So let's go back and test. Why not? Sometimes the cache takes a little longer even if we clear the cache. I have had that where I've checked and then it comes back with still a bunch of bad links, and then I test without doing anything a few minutes later and it's all clear. All right, so we have one error here. Let's find out what this dude is. All right, so it's my main image. Be easy to find. So we're just gonna edit. Better search and replace. And we're just gonna say, look everywhere in the world for this link, and we're gonna replace it with the secure version, right? We're gonna select all. We will leave that, and then we will do a dry run first. Okay, so through the power of video editing, we were able to kind of fast forward through some of the wait time here, and we're going to render our result. Should happen now. All right, 3 cells found, 3 cells updated. All right, let's go ahead and clear our cache again. All right, got that. Let's jump to the front end. All right, and I don't even need to run the why no padlock search. We know from here that it is secure now, right? Now moving forward, everything we do through the back end will automatically go through the SSL and be secured. Anyway, that kind of shows you how to take a newly secured website and finalize it to get all of your content secure. So if you have any questions, please comment below. And as always, like, subscribe, and share if you know somebody else that may use this. Thanks.